If you haven't, if you haven't courage to question, you hadn't tried to learn something. If you haven't been a good listener, you hadn't made yourself a good speaker. If you haven't felt in something, you hadn't tried yet anything. If you haven't cried sometimes, you hadn't resolved to be happy. If you haven't faced adversities, you hadn't tested the strength of your life. If you haven't achieved your dream, you had made your dream as a desire and not a goal. If you haven't enjoyed your journey, your destiny seems not interesting. If you haven't learned from your mistakes, you have no good lesson to learn in future. If you haven't lived alone, you hadn't tried to understand yourself. If you haven't learned from books, though you can read, you had degraded yourself as an illiterate person. If you haven't get hurt by a destitute, you have a less chance to grow beyond reach. If you haven't respect the advice of older people, you hadn't dreamt of venerating old age by youth. If you haven't encouraged youngsters, you hadn't taken part in nation building. If you haven't created a time to plan for your goal, you had simply struggled, taking you nowhere. If you haven't prayed to your Almighty, you hadn't strengthened your belief to conquer your cherished goal.